Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Psychic Astrology. I am Natalie, spelled Natalee. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So this is going to be covering your astrology transits and the psychic downloads that I get for them, covering Monday, October 18th through Monday, October 25th, 2021. Let's dive right in. This is going to be one of those weeks, guys, that's you're going to remember this one. You're really going to look back on this one. And, this is the last full moon. The next full moon that we're going to get is actually a partial lunar eclipse. So this is really kind of really, you heard me say it in the summer, like enjoy the summer, have a great summer, chill, have fun, because the fall into the winter is going to be some wild energy and some wild changes. And so this full moon, this Wednesday, kicks that off in a big way. All right. We have just about I think almost everything direct now. I mean, October was sort of slow to start, especially with everything retrograde. And then finally today, actually, yesterday into today, depending on what part of the world you're in, we have Jupiter and Mercury stationing direct in Aquarius and Libra, respectively. So let's jump into Monday, October 18th. Oh, shoot. And I will do... I'm going to timestamp this so that you guys can come back to this laters. Okay, hold on. Monday, the 18th. All right, here we go. Welcome to Monday, October 18th. Today, we've got Mercury stationing direct, Jupiter stationing direct either today or yesterday, depending on where you are in the world. We have Mars trining Jupiter from Libra to Aquarius. And the more granular details, like the phases, like the real sensitive parts with the moon doing its thing, I cover that on my Patreon. It's the lowest tier. It's called the Artegan Daily Bulletin, and it's a daily tarot spread, and it's a daily analysis of the astrology. So you guys get that already. But the big things I kind of cover, the bigger things for this for free on YouTube. This Mercury stationing direct in Libra is about transparency. It's about, something going on the beginning of September is when hey, Laura, welcome, Grand Rising. Oh, thank you. It feels good. It feels really good. Thank you. So the beginning of September was something that was, with Mercury in Libra and in retrograding, going over things, especially with the squares to Pluto. It's just been a thing. It's just been where and you guys have heard me say this before, where this Libra area of your life you've been trying to make it more nicey. You've been trying to do your very best to be as politic and diplomatic as possible. And it's been very difficult because not only has everything else been confusing, but there's also been stumbling over these actions and behaviors and words and trying to be more diplomatic and trying to say it the right way and trying to do it the right way and trying to appear the right way. There's just been a lot of hiccups and kerfuffles and lack of clarity, vague, ambiguous energy. So with Mercury stationing direct, this is a huge siren and a call for complete transparency, where you don't have to be nicey. There's a way to be honest and forthright and direct without hurting other people. And so I really feel like this Mercury retrograde has been about probably people stumbling over trying to bend the truth, delay the truth, hide the truth for the sake of trying to keep the relationship, trying to keep the situation from blowing up, trying to avert a disaster, avert a crisis. However, with this station direct, you might see where that actually causes more problems than it's worth, and it causes more of a headache than you thought, sweeping things under the rug. And this is Libra energy that can be over accommodating, overextending, overreaching. And when that snaps back is actually what we're going to get this week. You're like, okay, this is the difference. Okay, let me just talk about motherhood for a half a second. So mothers, when you kind of push yourself and force yourself to like be present, and you don't take time for yourself, and um, you don't practice that healthy forms of self-care, versus mothers that kind of do take those moments and take the time and use any resources available to have more childcare so that they can have more time for themselves. It results in different experiences in regards to the regret you may or may not feel, wishing that you were more present, or we don't want to miss anything because it's like the fleeting time. It's like they grow up so fast, and you there's this not wanting to have that regret. However, it's usually mothers, I have a lot of mother friends, and talking to mothers, and it's like a whole I feel like I've interviewed and just talked anyway. um it's the mothers that kind of push through it, and it builds resentment. It builds resentment, and it's oftentimes it leads to those mothers that didn't take that time for themselves, that have that regret, that were like, man, I really should have been more present, I really should have like been there, either mentally or emotionally, even though maybe they were physically pushing through it. And a lot of mothers that did take the time to rejuvenate themselves and get themselves to be like 100%, they are more present, they are more there, they are more attentive and not so resentful. And so this is like that Libra. That's really what I'm getting with this Libra retrograde and stationing direct. That if you've been like bearing some relationship, if you've been bearing some situation because you haven't wanted that regret of losing out or missing out, but you have not been tending to your own needs, you will end up personally paying the price for that. And ultimately the relationship or whatever the situation is, even if it's work, even if you're like, I love my work, but I hate it right now, and I'm just going to push myself through it, and I'm just going to like get this thing done because I just got to get it done. you're you're sacrificing your joy. And maybe it's something you love to do, maybe you love your job, but the approach and not going for a walk and not just like having a snack or taking a nap is compromising your joy of it and taking that pleasure out of it for you. So that Libra area of life has been going through that. And so with Monday, with Mercury stationing direct, this is when you will have the clarity in regards to where you've been over extending, specifically in your mind, specifically how you've been assessing your attitude towards this. Just like and I, she gave me, so when I was tuning into this Mercury station direct, she gave me this TikTok memory, and this TikTok I found, and it's a mother talking about that very thing that I just explained, talking about the presentness and really being there. And then it was like a mother that stitched another mother's TikTok and commented on it. So that's what she gave me, and so I was like, oh, I get it now. So that's what you guys get. You guys get what I get. I'm just the messenger here. So have a think on it. Really meditate on this, because you're gonna feel. Oh, hey, hello, welcome, hello, everybody. Because you're gonna feel this. You're gonna feel this coming up, where you feel like you've either overextended or you were too accommodating, and you're feeling that you need to pull it back, and that you want things to work out, you still want things to be okay, and you're being challenged to figure out how to do that with full complete transparency and honesty, without sacrificing your needs, without sublimating yourself, without sacrificing yourself. That's a low vibe. That's a negative Libra manifestation, is you just accept sacrificing yourself for peace, for what you think is peace, but it's not. It's not. All right. Um, Also, Monday today, we have Mars in Libra trining Jupiter in Aquarius. This is green means go. Do it. 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 This is like you get the go ahead. Get the go ahead. You can do it. You can have now Mars in Mars hasn't been that strong in Libra. Like, it's really far away from anything familiar. So even like we've been wanting to go, we've been wanting to engage, we've been wanting to make things better, but it's just been hard, to say the least, to put it very lightly. So with this trine to Jupiter and Aquarius, I really feel like this is going to be you seeing the green light and seeing where you can advance and move forward, because you've only been able to, almost like you've kind of just been trying to keep up with Mercury retrograde and not really able to find the footing and to find that security to really advance. So whatever perspectives are coming in today, whatever is stimulating that higher mind and that bigger picture thinking, you may innovate some solutions. You may find a way forward today. So I would say, like, let yourself think about it. Let yourself really give this your attention and follow that line of thought and follow that thinking. I'll just wait for the 11. Welcome to Tuesday, everybody. Tuesday, October 19th. Really, the moon's just doing stuff today. The moon in Aries. Now, we're in the Aries full moon energy as of like right now today. The moon is in Aries and it's like, it's on. You guys may be feeling angry. You may be feeling angry. You may be feeling sacred rage. You may be feeling impatient. And it's going to increase. Wednesday is when it really climaxes. But even on Tuesday, it's really, really strong. And a lot of times this energy peaks before it goes exact, before it hits that exact aspect. And so you might even get the big result or the big reveal, because the full moon is always going to reveal something to us. Might get that on Tuesday, or you might get it today. But on Tuesday, the moon in Aries is trining Venus in Sag. That's the best. That's the best you're going to get out of Tuesday, is this optimistic, idealistic feeling, passion within you. There's two areas of life, this Aries area and that Sagittarius area that has a path forward. And it's a little bit of a mixed bag with this full moon. I'm going to talk about that pretty soon. But Tuesday, you really want to look for where your optimism and your idealism and it's almost like Tuesday, you can recover quickly. You can recover, any lost confidence if you orient your thoughts that way, if you orient your passions to what's the next thing, what am I going to build, what am I going to do with what I have, and get some big picture ideas and thoughts of how you can realistically channel your energy and what you can initiate and how you can carry that forward in a flexible way. So you're going to need the flexibility, the Sagittarius energy, that mutable energy, but that moon in Aries is like, I need to initiate something new. So you're going to need to work out some flexibility, but it should be easier, especially with Venus. So like, this is like flexibility in relationships, flexibility in relating, flexibility in considering new and different pleasures, ways of earning income, ways of relating to other people, ways of connecting to other people, and ways of finding solutions to what you're trying to get off the ground or get going. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on. Here we go. Welcome to Wednesday, October 20th. This is your full moon in Aries, everybody. Welcome to your full moon in Aries. This full moon in Aries is happening at, in the morning, 7:56 a.m. Pacific time. And this full moon, I'm going to be here to live stream about it. And then we'll go over to, actually, what I'm doing this week with this full moon is I'm going to split it into two parts over on Patreon. So we're still going to do all the 12 signs, what it means personally for all the 12 zodiac signs, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. And we pull tarot. I'm just actually going to add a crypto section. I've been wondering where and how to add it to my Patreon, and I've been sprinkling it in these odd videos. And I thought about making dedicated videos, but it really works perfect to tack it into the lunations that we do twice a month. So what I'm going to do is go over the Aries full moon on Wednesday for all 12 zodiac signs and do tarot. And we're going to take a look at the next lunation, so the new moon in Scorpio in November. And we will do crypto. crypto stuff. I'll talk about cryptocurrency and trading and market conditions and volatility. Yeah, I'll do that as well. So that's why it's going to be like two videos, like one part, with the 6 signs, then the next 6 signs, and then there's going to be also the preview for the next lunation, and there's going to be the crypto for from this lunation to the next lunation, and we're going to track it. So if anyone's interested, that's going to be over on Patreon. It's going to be in the same tier. I think it's like the Knights tier as I do all the other lunations. So I'm excited for that. I love this stuff. So anyway, the full moon in Aries, it's volatile. There's a T-square happening. So basically the full moon in Aries is opposing the sun in Libra, which is conjunct Mars in Libra. And together they're across the sky and they bring all of this. It's already tense. It's already like, because there's this like, it's a tug of war already. But what's adding to this is that there's this third element down here. So it's like this, and then it creates the T-square. And down here is Pluto in Capricorn. All right. So what this is going to be for you guys is, like I said, you've been overextending that nicey. You've been like pushing yourself down, pushing down your own needs. You've been insecure in relating to others, trying to just play it safe and just maybe give everyone what they ask for, give everyone what they want, be as accommodating as possible. And that's going to have the snap back at this full moon on Wednesday. So you're going to be really cognizant of your own needs, and you're going to feel resentment wherever you have given too much of yourself away. So if you're feeling sacred rage, if you're feeling anger shows us where our boundaries are being pushed and when. When you feel anger, ask yourself, are my boundaries being crossed right now? Because if they're not being crossed, then you have a different reaction and something else is going on, and it's not real. That anger is not operating the way it's supposed to. But if you're feeling anger and someone is crossing those boundaries, or someone has crossed those boundaries, you're entitled to feel that anger, and you're entitled to take your power back in a healthy way. Okay. So this Aries full moon is going to be a lot of people being like, you know what? This was wrong all along. I'm mad at you for taking advantage of me, and I'm mad at myself for letting you take advantage of me. It's going to be like that. But here's the thing. Between your needs and their needs is the truth, is Pluto. And Pluto speaks in absolutes, so that Sun and Mars and Libra is going to be that other person. It's going to be what your job needs of you, what your spouse needs of you, what your family needs of you. And that full moon in Aries is going to be your personal needs, what you need for yourself in some area of life, your daily routine, your philosophizing, your ethics, your morals, your communication, your thought processes, your own heart, your love. And between both of those is the absolute truth, is Pluto, who speaks in absolute terms. Pluto, Scorpio, it's black or white. It's black or white. And Pluto brings endings, great endings and great beginnings. So I'm going to say, how's it all going to shake out? How's it all going to shake out? You, however it lands, you have to accept it. You have to accept it. You've got to accept the truth. And no matter what happens, no matter how all this plays out over the next 2 weeks, you have to give yourself justice. Whatever you learn from this experience, what have you learned from giving too much of yourself away? What have you learned from being selfish? This is even going to be the absolute truth of, where you had maybe taken from someone else, or where you had taken advantage of someone else's kindness, or someone else's lack of confidence or lack of assurance, or someone else being new to the industry, or someone else being new to relationships, or someone else being new to parenthood, or whatever it is, and you took advantage, and you were not acting in integrity, and you saw they didn't have that boundary, and you just went ahead and took a little bit more. You skimmed off the top. You just pushed and pushed because you see they're having like a faltered moment. Maybe that's you. Pluto's going to show us. Pluto's going to show us very clearly everything. So what I mean by give yourself justice is to accept the truth. When you accept the truth of like cleaning your side of the street and taking responsibility for your own justice. And when I say take responsibility for your own justice, it means accepting what's really been happening and promising yourself, learning from the lesson, learning from whatever this is all showing you. And, use that anger to assert your boundaries and use that anger to commit to yourself moving forward, that you won't let it happen again, that you won't take advantage of someone again moving forward. So, it's by staying true to yourself that you're going to win here. That's the only way forward, because Pluto is going to, this is like a purge energy. This full moon is going to really purge out a lot of the imbalances, and it's going to transform situations in a huge way. But something's over, something's done. The part about over giving and being over accommodating, that's done. Like, that's over. So look at that Libra area of life, because that's what's going bye-bye. Hello and welcome to Thursday, October 21st. We have the moon in Taurus now, and the moon in Taurus is going to square Saturn in Aquarius, is going to conjunct Uranus retrograding in Taurus. And the big thing about Thursday the 21st is that we have Mars in Libra squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And this is what people like astrologers are like tweaking out about for good reason. When I tuned into this frequency, she told me this like secret, and I'm really developing a much better relationship with the spheres and getting your downloads for psychic astrology. And what I was told is that they're actually working together. Mars and Pluto both rule Scorpio. Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto is like the modern ruler of Scorpio. And so they look like they're in conflict. They look like they're fighting. It looks like it's tense. It looks like it's destructive, and it looks like it's temperamental and unwieldy, and it looks like they're fighting. But what I got is that they're working together. And the way they're working together is to keep you honest, to keep all of us, to keep everyone honest. This is going to show you something that you've got to pay attention to, whether it's a feeling coming up within you. Like if you're feeling this dynamic energy in a stressful way, if you're feeling like your Mars in Libra, still trying to make peace, still trying to be over accommodating, and let's say, someone more powerful than you comes over and makes an absolute decision. You're trying to meet in the middle, and they're not meeting you in the middle because they have more power, and what do they care? And they're just going to do what they're going to do, and how they say goes, and you feel frustrated and you feel disempowered. That you might feel like it's unfair. You might feel like something's unfair about this. However, these two sources of energy are keeping you honest and showing you the truth of, hold on, let me turn this off. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I held the thought. So they're keeping you honest, and they're showing you something inside of yourself, and they're showing you how to be honest with where you feel empowered and where you feel disempowered. And you need to see this. We don't pay attention to anything like this until it's happening, until it's like right in our faces. Because you know what, guys, we take great energy, great things in life for granted. We all do. We all have. We take the peaceful, harmonious times in our relationships for granted. We take easy things, things that come easily to us for granted. A great person walks in our lives. Oh, they sparkle. Oh my God. The people that take it for granted. Anything that you get easily, there's no pride of ownership. You didn't earn it. So you take it for granted. This Mars in Libra squaring Pluto and Capricorn is working to show you what you cannot take for granted and what you have to earn and what you have to go and get for yourself. And you have to get something for yourself based off of changing yourself, accepting some bigger truth about the situation, about your character, about someone else's character, and find a way to move forward. And you know what? You won't take whatever hard won victory results of this, you won't take it for granted because you earned it. You worked hard for it and you overcame something difficult in order to get it. So it's going to be worth more to you and it's going to be authentic. It's not going to be something that you hurt yourself because you were over accommodating, you were giving yourself away to receive. It's not like that. You had to do the hard work and step up to the plate, step up to the mat, step up and be that stand up man or woman in order to fix something, in order to correct something, in order to even recognize a power imbalance and do something about it. So that's what I'm getting is that Mars and Pluto are actually working together. And whatever is blowing up this week, whatever it is, it's hard won. It's a victory that's going to be yours. It's going to be hard won. We're about to enter into wild, wild energy. We have the eclipses. We have the last Saturn Uranus square at the end of the year. We have Venus retrograding in Capricorn. We have a lot. We have the nodes shifting. So it's like, it's a whole thing. This is last full moon. The next full moon's a partial lunar eclipse. And so like the new moon in Scorpio is going to be epic. And as everything moves into Scorpio, it's just going to be like, get authentic as soon as possible, because otherwise when these planets start like forcing it and showing you, and it's just any crisis in your life is that it's you manifested it from your subconscious mind. But it's only happening because you're trying to mature to the level to deal with that crisis. Because what happens when we experience a crisis in life? We figure it out. We survive it. It's only a crisis because we hadn't encountered it yet. Like your first car accident, you're like, oh my God. Oh, now you like know what to do. So, with the moon on Thursday, you have to do something differently. And that's probably what you're going to resent. That's probably what you're going to be like scared about, or you're feeling really stuck in your way about, or you've got to adapt, and you have to innovate. You have to go with the future. It's not about the past. The past is so gone. If I feel like if the pandemic taught people anything, it's that like the past is so dead, gone. That way of life, way of thinking, way of relating, way of behaving, it's gone. It's gone. Bye-bye. 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 Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday, October 22nd. Guys, okay, this is great. This is when, oh, thank you, Justin. The backdrop. Yeah, it's new backdrop, man. It's new, brand new, man. Actually matches my Capricorn cup mug for coffee. So on Friday the 22nd, we have the sun entering Scorpio. So speaking of which, we have the sun entering Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios. Happy birthday, Scorps. Now this ingress of the sun shifting is going to burn up everything that was inauthentic, and it's going to continue to show us and shed light onto secrets and motivations. Motives matter so much. this week and like moving forward. Stand in your integrity, apologize when you need to, advocate for the right thing. Speak the truth. What's right is always going to be right, even if no one's doing it. What's wrong is always going to be wrong, even if everybody's doing it. I'm sorry, my Aquarian moon is like right now. Everyone's going to be feeling very righteous, okay? Everyone's going to be feeling this Aries full moon is going to bring like your truth, your needs to the very surface. And with the sun on by Friday, this is honest. It's time to get honest. Honest with yourself, honest with others. Don't gaslight yourself, don't gaslight others. Um, just be honest. That's just stick to honesty. Just if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be. I know it's hard to accept and we don't, but you know what? Otherwise we take it all for granted. Taking it all for granted. Taking it for granted that you can push over someone or that someone is going through like a low self-esteem moment and you capitalize on that. That's all bad karma. That's all gonna just that's gonna like boomerang and ricochet back around. So you guys know what the deal is here. It's love, it's truth, it's integrity. You're going to choose ego over love, or you're going to choose love over ego. That's going to be so sharp. It was muddled. It's been muddled since September with everything going retrograde. Everyone's like running around with chickens without their heads. But this is like the beginning of like the absolute truth. And with the sun entering Scorpio, it's truth. Especially with Scorpio, this sun in Scorpio can also really burn out your ego. It can really humble us. What's humiliating? Humiliation is humbling. It knocks us down a peg. Okay. So if there are any humiliating things about this week or about like the end of the week, let it humble you. Because if you try to hold on to the ego, you're just gonna like continue to implode. Also on Friday, okay, the moon's doing a lot, but let's just get to the weekend. Oh, hold on. 30, hold on. Saturday, the 23rd of October. So I want to talk about the weekend because this the moon's gonna be in Gemini and the moon's gonna trine Saturn in Aquarius, but the moon's also gonna conjoin the North Node in Gemini. We have like a little bit of this Gemini North Node eclipsey energy left before we really get into the Taurus Scorpio eclipses, North Nodes. So here's what the weekend really Saturday, it's like what I have tuning into this energy is consider this. Consider this. Just consider it. Just consider it. And when the moon conjoins the North Node in Gemini, you really will want to keep an open mind. Gemini is the third house, and Sagittarius rules the ninth house. So it's sort of flipped because Gemini is supposed to gather information, not judge anything. Not judge anything. That's Sagittarius's job to make judgments. And when you make those judgments in the ninth house of Sagittarius, you create the law, you create rules, you create your value system, your morals, and your ethics. And that's why it's also the house of teaching and traveling and preaching and prophets and wizened people. The North Node is destiny. It's really interesting because my sister and I have reversed North Node and South Node. I have my North Node in my ninth house, and she has her North Node in the third house. So it's just been really interesting to think about. And this is going to help you guys for Saturday and Sunday. Really interesting. She is a Gemini, by the way. And she has Gemini placements, and I have my Venus in Sagittarius, which opposes all of her Gemini stuff. So when you read that simplistically, having my North Node in the ninth house, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, which is sharing the ethics and morals and beliefs and the judgments, but they have to come from the highest perspective. They have to come from the absolute most forgiving, loving, honest, truthful, like the highest of the high, like the most judicious perspectives. It can't be exclusive. It can't leave people out. It can't, that's the only way it'll work. Otherwise, it'll be self righteous. Otherwise, it'll be like, oh my God, I can't listen to you. Otherwise, it'll be like cringy. She has her North Node in her third house. She's not supposed to be making judgments. She's supposed to be gathering information and learning and just staying curious and open. Staying open, not making harsh judgments at all. And so, I'm supposed to be taking everything that I've learned, like my past and my pain and experiences, and forming this higher idealism from it and sharing it with others. I know I was kind of bummed that it didn't have anything to do with like acting or screenwriting or anything, but like maybe someday, hopefully, but like look at what happened with my Saturn return. Okay. So when this North Node conjuncts in Gemini on Saturday, you want to just consider this. You want to just consider all of the information, consider the whole week. Carve out some time on Saturday to just consider the craziness that was your week in October with your full moon in Aries. Just consider all of it. Don't judge it. If you judge it, you'll lose. Especially if you judge it harshly, especially if you judge it from your ego, especially if you choose ego over love, especially if you're not acting in integrity. Ninth house is supposed to be your integrity. If you get preachy without your integrity, lead with if you lead with fear, if you lead with putting people down, if you lead, it's like ugly. It's ugly, ugly, ugly. Don't be that way. Just the moon in Gemini, emotionally, you're gonna probably have a lot of emotions going all over the place. There's probably gonna be like don't attach your identity to any thought. Oh, God, I feel like that was so hard to get out. Don't attach your identity to any of your thoughts or any of your considerations. Consider this, consider everything. Your identity is your character. Your character is built through how you overcome your obstacles, your personal obstacles, your external obstacles, like writing a story. You write a script. Okay, my hero has an objective, but there's all these obstacles that prevent them from achieving their objective, and how they overcome the tactics and strategies they use to overcome those obstacles creates the character, and it shows us who that person is on film. Dom Cobb in Inception. I got to get back to my kids. I have to take this job. I have to do Inception. I have to overcome my fear. I have to put this team together. I have to get Tom Hardy. I have to get the guy. It's like that shows us who he is. Christopher, okay, I'm not going to get into like a whole screenwriting movie thing, but but you guys know that film is my language here. Same is true. That it's like that's life. That writing a script, writing that story, that's your life. You are the main character. I was listening to Heartless earlier today, so I've been pretending like I have cigars. But this is what you want of your life. This whole entire week, live through it, and then by the time you get to Saturday, consider everything. Consider everything, because your character is being revealed not just to yourself, whether you know that consciously or unconsciously, but everybody around you. Everybody in your life is looking at you. And not like you should care what people are judging of you, but just know that like you're just never going to get away with it. You're never going to get away with anything. Okay, we're moving. The world is different now. There's cancel culture, there's boycotts. With cancel culture is just boycotting. That's all it is. There's so much like, anyway, okay. Okay. So that's Saturday. See, I'm getting preachy. You can hear it in my this is my ninth, this is me. This is my destiny. Okay, welcome to Sunday, October 24th. The moon's still in Gemini, but it's going to trine Mercury in Libra, now direct, going to oppose Venus in Sagittarius. It's going to square Neptune in Pisces retrograde, and it's going to trine Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's a lot. Really what I'm getting for Sunday is like talking about it. So I want you to take Saturday to consider everything. Consider your week. Sunday, talk about it. Or consider this Friday night and talk about it Saturday. However it works for you. You're all going to be triggered in different ways. Um, but the weekend is definitely, let's just generally say, considering this, considering everything and talking about it. Now, it could also just be your internal dialogue. It could just be mentally you're talking to yourself about it. Gemini is very, very chatty. And the thing with Gemini, every Gemini I've ever known, including my sister, they don't know what they think until they start talking about it. They don't know it. So it's like I remember like accidentally finding myself kind of zoning out when she's talking, but she just needs to like get it out there. She just needs like not holding on to any one idea or any one thought or any word or phrase, not holding on to it for dear life, but just throwing it out there. Like it is free. It's just words. Um, so let yourself do that. Get yourself in this Geminian energy where you're just talking about it, even to yourself. Talk about it out loud. Talk about it all day in your room or in your kitchen and just not hold everything lightly, light touch, super lightly, and you can figure out how you really feel, what you really think, and how to like that's a good way to process because we don't always get the opportunity to process everything happening like in the moment. So, maybe the weekend's going to be your time to process. And if it is, then it's going to be through talking about it and through maybe even bouncing ideas back and forth, but just not holding on to anything super tightly so that you can move through the energy quicker. Because if you're trying to talk to someone, let's say it's super low vibrational. Let's say my north node in the ninth house is super judgy because that's the low vibration of Sagittarius energy. That's the low vibration of ninth house energy is judging, like mean judgy. And, if you talk to someone and they shut it down automatically because they make this hard judgment and they don't keep an open mind like a Gemini and they don't consider this, you just like, you just cut yourself off from so much the relationship, the bond, the growth, the personal growth. And like, it's just a narrow experience. So if you're coming up to people like that this week, let them go. Let them go. Let them deal with it. It's their karma. It's their responsibility. It's their mind. Everyone's creating their own reality constantly. So everyone's truth is different. Everyone is looking at life through a different lens. So if someone's going to keep their world really narrow and not consider anything, and you do, don't try to change their mind. Just let them go. Let them just don't cross their boundary and try and get in their mind and try to like fix it or take responsibility for their mentality or their feeling or anything like that. Just the full moon in Aries about focusing on yourself, coming back home to your needs because you've been overextending. You've been trying to do this whole little dance with all this Libra energy. Sun's going to move into Scorpio. It's not going to fly anymore. So, thanks. Are you sure not a morning? Yeah, so that's what I have to say about all of this. I am going to head into Capricorn right now. That's a Patreon exclusive. I will be back for our Monday weeklies, which are Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. And then I do the next 4 on Wednesday, and then I do the next 4 on Friday. This week we have Astrology 101 class on Thursday, and we also have Psychokinesis and Telekinesis Thursdays on Thursday as well. The Astrology 101 is included in the Emperor and Empress tier on Patreon, and the Psychokinesis and Telekinesis class is in the highest tier, the Hierophants and High Priestesses tier on Patreon. That's if you're interested in learning how to move physical objects without using your physical energy. And oh my God, I have so much sorry, I don't want to I have a lot to hand out this week for my people. Everyone's doing really great, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Time. It's an hour. It flies by kind of fast, but I know that it's like The classes, you don't it's like you come to those classes, like, whenever it suits you, that's, like, because you can just replay it, but it's more important to really show up for the psychokinesis and telekinesis because that's on Zoom, and we do a group Zoom, so that's Thursday. What else? Those are the only announcements that we need to really go through this week. In addition to live streaming on Wednesday, the full moon, I'll go to Patreon after that. That's the Knights tier, and I will be doing a 12 sign by sign breakdown. We'll pull tarot for every sign of the zodiac, and I will also give you guys a preview of the next lunation, and I will also talk about crypto. Yeah. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Take really good care. And until next time, my lovelies, many, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.